Hello gold farmers, welcome to another Grown Out farming video. Today we'll be taking a look at my dark iron ore farming route. There are quite a few ores in here that spawn that could be a little challenging to get to. Unfortunately, I did accidentally kill a boss, so I won't be able to really farm this anymore, but I have almost 3 full stacks of it, so I'm not necessarily too worried about it. So I will go ahead and kill some of the bosses here, hope for maybe a pet or something. But if you do go in to farm this, I don't necessarily recommend that you actually kill the bosses. The only reason why I would actually recommend that you do is if you have ran it a couple of times before, collected some of the dark iron ore. I average about 50 ore every run, so that's really not that bad at all. You should be able to get about 6 runs in an hour, maybe 7 or 8 depending on your class and how fast you can move. I can probably fit in 7 full runs, but that would be around 300 to 350 ore, so that's really good, especially for an hour. Essentially, it's almost kind of like you farming pyrite ore or titanium ore, only instead of having the chance of coming across one of those two, you actually have a 100% chance of getting the nodes, so you'll be making quite a bit of gold here. One thing that I do or always do is I will try to at least kill these molten giants. The reason why is because they drop or have a chance of dropping the blood of the mountain, which is a forgotten material, or not necessarily completely forgotten, but it's fairly hard to obtain. Not many people like to farm it, and I would actually recommend that you farm it on a miner, even a skinner. That way you can maximize the amount of gold that you can get here. For those who don't know where I'm at, I am inside of Molten Core, and the easiest way to get there is if you head over to the Searing Gorge or even the Burning Steeps. Head into Blackrock Mountain. You'll want to go to the middle. There will be a mob just right inside of the building, and he'll actually be able to teleport you into the dungeon without any problems. When you first start the run, don't worry about the node that spawns about here, because it can be a bit challenging to kind of get a hold of. It will increase the amount of time it takes for you to run the dungeon as well, because you can't get back up from that little ledge right there, so you'll have to kind of just walk all the way back around and then go back in. But after that, I usually do take that path. I'll run down here and then just kind of run down that way instead of taking the longer way around. And after that, it's pretty straightforward from here, because there's really no locations or ores or anything that can change the amount of time it will take for you to complete the run. I don't like this node that spawns over here, because you do have to backtrack a little bit, but it does spawn there every now and then. I wouldn't skip it, but it can be a little annoying once you see it there. After you finish these rooms, I would just kind of recommend that you stay up alongside of the right side of the wall. This is because there aren't any nodes that spawn up top here on the top part of the next few bosses, so it's kind of pointless for you to stay up along that side of the wall. After that though, you will want to actually drop down here into the Borgen, his room. You can just drop off from this little section right here, and then kind of continue to run the route. What I usually do from there is I will head up here to the Shazar. He doesn't spawn unless if you kill all of the bosses, if I am correct, so you don't have to worry about him. I'll run up there, check to see if there are any nodes up there. If there aren't, then I will drop down to, I believe it's right around here. I'll show you guys when I get up there, so that way you don't really make any mistakes or anything. It can, the runs can differ. It usually just kind of depends on where the nodes spawn. If you kill any enemies, I find it a lot faster to just not even worry about any of the enemies other than the molten giants, although you can get a bit more gold if you farm for the mobs as well. If you aren't too sure where to smelt dark iron ore or how to get the recipe, I'm not exactly certain how to get the recipe to smelt it just yet. I will be looking into it. I do believe I did it once, so I do remember smelting some of it. You can check your auction house for dark iron ore because the dark iron bar is selling for about double the price it costs for the ore. So it takes 8 ores to smelt 1 bar. If you buy 8 ore off the auction house for 50 gold a piece, or 400 gold total, the bar would be selling for about 800 gold. So you can make quite a bit of gold off of it that way. Again, that does depend on your server and everything, so I just take that with the grain of salt. The ore itself is selling for, it's pretty quickly, it sells for, let me see if I can't find another ore. So you've got your ghost iron ore, which sells pretty much almost instantly, and it's at a almost 0.50, which means that the dark iron ore is selling for about half of that, or the sell rate's about half of what the ghost iron ore is. So once you get here, right where this Fire Lord is, you'll want to kind of drop off. You'll just want to slip right on down there. You want to hang or stay up alongside of the wall, because there is a gap right here, and then you can kind of just continue your run from there. I do believe that the dark iron ore bars and transmog sets will start going up in price because of the dark iron allied race. So it is a fairly good thing to kind of stock up on. I'm personally going to hold on to it until Battle for Azeroth, maybe a little bit after. But if you want to farm it and sell it now, you can. If you want to farm it and hold on to it, it's all up to you. Anyways, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more content.